And I arrived the evening before I was to become a sailor. I'd rented a hotel room and arranged everything, and then I went out and walked along Strøget. The town hall bells still remind me of that day. Oh, I thought, what life, what shops and people. I thought it was a great adventure. I'd never seen a real market town before.
Martinus went into the Navy in spite of the fact that he was an avowed pacifist. He served on one of the new torpedo boats and enjoyed life at sea. Because of his training as a dairyman, he was made stoker, but he was soon given the post of orderly to the chief engineer. It wasn't possible at that time to be a conscientious objector, but during most of Martinus' time as a sailor, he was not under Navy command. He never bore arms. Shortly afterwards, the First World War broke out. Yet in 1913, many, including prominent politicians, thought that people had now become too highly developed to go to war. After military service, Martinus had various kinds of work, as a watchman, as a postman, and for some years as an office clerk at Enihidden's dairy. Gradually, something began brewing deep in his mind, but he did not understand what it was. To his surprise and wonder, he felt that the desire his friends had to get married and create a home did not exist for him. Martinus would have liked to become a missionary, but he realized that it wasn't possible. As he himself said, "I don't believe in eternal hell." His concept of God differed too much from the dogmatic Christian concept. Then he met Lars Nibelvang, a man very interested in theosophy and philosophy. Their meeting led indirectly to Martinus in March 1921, having the profound spiritual experience that totally changed his life, the experience that enabled him to write his life's work on Martinus cosmology, a work that has since made his name known to people in a number of countries.
Then one day I visited this man. He wasn't a follower of any theosophical or anthroposophical society, but he'd read world philosophy. I listened to him for a long time, and he lent me a book. I had a tremendous longing for more knowledge. I began reading the book and came to a place where it said that one could meditate. One could sit comfortably in a chair and cover one's eyes so that one could concentrate better. Suddenly, I saw a statue. It was Thorvaldson's statue of Christ standing, saying, "Come unto me." Everything disappeared. My organism, the room, the house, everything. I sat in nothing other than golden rays, and I felt a tremendous pressure on my consciousness. My experiencing such a thing wouldn't have meant very much if I hadn't afterwards discovered that when I thought about anything, some higher problem or other, the solution came to me as something living.
In the years following this profound mental experience, Martinus began writing. He felt he had an ocean of knowledge on which to draw. Every time he met a question or a problem, the answer came to him immediately. For Martinus, what he wrote was old knowledge, and gradually he realized that this knowledge didn't have any limits. But it was difficult for him, because he wasn't accustomed to expressing himself, and now he had to write about complicated matters and make profound analyses. A long time passed before Martinus began to write in earnest. In fact, he began by drawing. He realized that it was necessary to give his thoughts visible expression. He therefore drew a long series of symbolic illustrations showing the entire world picture, eternity and infinity. Martinus realized that modern, intelligent man would find it a great advantage to have the support of symbols and other illustrations. He therefore translated in this way his spiritually scientific truths, making them visible and accessible. In 1930, Martinus gave his first public lecture to an audience of more than 200. It was at 11 Forhåbningsholms Allé in Copenhagen. He was nervous and shy when he stepped up onto the platform, but after some minutes he put his text aside and held the audience's attention for almost 2 hours. Soon more people became interested in Martinus' thoughts. One of them, Bernard Löe, was introduced to Martinus in 1928. An ex-manufacturer, he was now the leader of the Anthroposophical Society. Löe became one of Martinus' most faithful and helpful friends in these rather difficult years. Martinus soon gained more experience in expressing himself and gradually formulated the cosmic principles and laws in clear, graphic symbols. In 1928, he began writing Livets Bog, the Book of Life. The first volume appeared in 1932. Bernard Löe financed its publication. Its 345 pages and 8 coloured symbols constitute merely the introduction to the main work. Martinus received so many letters requiring answers that one day Bernard Löe suggested that he should have an assistant. A young man called Erik Gerner Larsen became Martinus' first assistant. He quickly became so interested in Martinus cosmology that he soon took part in establishing study circles all over Denmark. In 1933, the first issue of the magazine Cosmos came out. Today it's published in 5 languages.
The Martinus
Center has developed into an educational institution where there are not only lectures in the summer, but also courses in the spring and autumn. The center's history goes back to 1934. At that time, Martinus and his co-workers had an institute in Copenhagen where one could teach in the winter, but they lacked a place where they could meet in the summer. One day, one of Martinus's friends came with a small advertisement for an area of land in Klint near Nykøbing in Sjælland. That's about 60 miles northwest of Copenhagen. It was for sale at less than a penny per square foot. They went up to see it on Constitution Day in 1934 and agreed that this was the place to establish a center.
Grundlovsdag i 1934, og man blev enige om, at det var stedet, hvor man skulle oprette et center. Så allerede i løbet af vinteren og foråret byggede man...
So during the following winter and spring, 7 summer houses were built. There wasn't any actual teaching. People sat in front of and inside the houses